Welcome to my Q&A, where I actually asked you guys these questions back in March, and it's now currently July. So that's fun for everyone involved. So without further delay, let's get started on this Q&A. What lipstick do you use? I'm so glad you asked because I love my lipstick. This is not sponsored, by the way. I just genuinely love my lipstick. It's Maybelline Superstay in the color Ruler, number 80. And I love it. It stays pretty much an entire day. If you've been eating a lot or like drinking from a straw, it might wear off in the center here, but otherwise it's a solid lipstick and it's easy to find, so I highly recommend it. If you go to take it off at the end of the day though, I recommend putting chapstick on and then wiping it off with that, because makeup remover works obviously, but it takes a little bit more friction to get it all off sometimes, so the chapstick makes it nice and easy to remove. What's your favorite color? Pink or yellow? If you were a dragon, what color would you want to be? I think I'd want to be iridescent. Like either like when you see like oil on blacktop, you know, where it's like that rainbow color, or like a mother of pearl kind of vibe. Like I think that would be really pretty and I think that'd be really cool. I would just want to look really cool as a dragon. I don't think I'd be a particularly skilled dragon, but I'd want to look cool nonetheless. Favorite snack? Well, it sort of depends on my mood, but I typically do like anything that's Little Debbie's. Specifically, I like those strawberry rolls that they've got. Those are like, mwah, so good. I also, if you want to know my favorite Pop-Tart, you want to know my real favorite Pop-Tart, Joey? It's the cinnamon roll ones that they discontinued. Those are my favorite Pop-Tarts. Can you rank hair colors of yourself? I absolutely can. In last place, I'm gonna put the green hair that I had. Not because it was bad, but it wasn't the shade of green I was hoping it was gonna be. I wanted it to be like a nice emerald green, and it turned out this much lighter color that I don't think flattered me very well. Then next up, I think I'll do half blonde look that I had going there when my blonde was growing out for ages, because I liked it, but you know, it looked half grown out to me and I knew it was half grown out because I had dyed it, you know, or bleached it blonde like earlier that year or 2 years ago. So then I would put the blonde because I liked it, but I didn't tone it at all. It was literally just I had bleached my hair. I was supposed to tone it and then never got around to doing that. So I think I could make it look better if I actually, you know, had it toned. Next, I do my half pink hair where it was again just grown out and it was like the bottom half of it was still pink because I liked the pink on me. And then in first place, it definitely is the pink hair. I loved my pink hair. I think it was so pretty. There's a reason why I've kept it as my profile picture, because I love myself with the pink hair. I think it really flatters my complexion. I think it makes me look fun, and I think it matches my personality a little bit better. So I loved the pink hair. It was just a lot of upkeep and a lot of overtone. What are some of your other favorite creators? Well, here on YouTube, one of my favorites is probably kickthepj, who, if you don't know who he is, he's been around for ages, so I highly suggest you go check him out. If you used to watch Dan and Phil, then you definitely know who he is from the Fantastic Foursome. He is so talented and so whimsical and creative, and I wish I possessed like an eighth of PJ's creativity, because I just love the things that he makes. Like Oscar's Hotel, I think is so fun, and I'm so glad that he finally got to post it to YouTube, because it was sort of lost media for a while, and I love it. I also used to love watching Marcia's videos, but obviously she deleted all her content over, God, 5 years ago now, I think. Marcia being PewDiePie's wife, if you don't know who that is. And then I also really love watching this guy called Tanks for Nothing on here, who does like aquarium builds that are just really relaxing to watch. It's just like my little like desensitizing like thing. He's only got like a handful of videos, but they're all banger videos. And then I also love Studson Studios because he makes little miniature stuff, and I love making miniatures of things. Like, it's so fun. I think it's so cool, and I love watching other people make miniatures. I just, it's so fun to watch. If floor plus tree equals Dave, then what's your favorite table to eat? Obviously a side table made out of cherry wood because it has that nice fruity flavor to it. If I'm a bit hungrier, I'll go for like an oak coffee table, however, but I can't possibly eat a dining table all by myself. I usually have to split that with friends because there's always too much to go around, and if I keep it in my fridge, it always ends up spoiling before I can actually finish all of it. Can we see Piper? Yes, you can, because she's being really cute right now, so let's go on a little journey together, yeah? All right, and here is the baby. Hi. Did you find some towels to sleep on? Did you take a nap on some dirty towels? You happy? Hi. Yes, you're just so adorable, huh? When you're not being absolutely feral, you're great. This is prime time when she's just woken up from a nap. Yeah. If you were to receive fan art, what would you want it to be of? Honestly, anything. I really am not picky. The fact that I get fan art at all is incredible to me. I never thought I would be someone who got fan art of themselves or of things related to their content. So if you are making fan art, as long as you tag me in it, I am happy, okay? Like, I think it's so sweet that people would be willing to spend their time and their talent on something like that. I think that is incredibly endearing. So whatever you want to make, if it's in relation to me, I am just flattered you're doing it in the first place. How do you feel about the fall of Constantinople? Been a long time gone, Constantinople. Why did Constantinople get the works? It's nobody's business but the Turks. Where do you come up with your outfit ideas? I'm trying to find my style now that I don't have to wear a uniform. I pretty much find my style from either just trial and error of putting clothes on and off my body about 1,000 times in a morning, which is sometimes really fun because then I just start yelling at my closet, or as I like to call her, closette. She doesn't listen to me a lot of the time. Otherwise, I rely on like fashion inspiration from others. For instance, I really like Marzia's style, so like I will just look through her Instagram and get kind of inspired off of that, or other people that I like their clothing from and I go, oh, and then I try to emulate that. Sometimes if my hyperfixation gets real bad, it goes off of the characters I like in a show, which can be embarrassing to say the least. Otherwise, I also am a heavy user of Pinterest. I like to just type into Pinterest like a vibe that I'm looking for and be like, you know, like rainy day outfit vibe, or like art museum vibe if I'm going to an art museum, like just things to like get me the like energy I'm looking for an outfit, you know, because like I'm not gonna wear like this bright red blazer if I'm trying to look like comfy and cozy, because this isn't giving comfy cozy, it's giving like really attention grabbing and like powerful, right? But I highly recommend Pinterest. Pinterest can be very helpful if you're trying to figure out how to make an outfit. Favorite number, letter, and or word? Number 21, letter L, favorite word, petrichor. What's your favorite underrated song? Honestly, I really love Flick of the Wrist by Queen. Technically, it's part of like a 3-part melody where it starts with like Tenement Buster and then it goes into Flick in the Wrist and then it goes into Lily of the Valley, which is like one of the smoothest transitions I've ever heard between songs is from Flick of the Wrist into Lily of the Valley. But it's really good. So if you haven't listened to a ton of Queen outside of like, you know, their charting hits, I highly recommend giving it a listen. I love Flick of the Wrist. It's so good. Did you play any instruments growing up? And if not, what would you like to play? I did play an instrument growing up very, very briefly. I played the flute because my mom played it and so I wanted to do it. And I played that from like 5th to 6th grade, and then I promptly quit because I did not practice ever and I didn't want to. And so then I went back to doing choir and I stayed in choir then pretty much for the rest of my schooling duration. And then I would probably want to learn how to play like maybe like piano or guitar. I feel like those are like some good staple ones that would probably be like helpful and beneficial. I know my mom would like me to learn how to play piano. I know she'd appreciate that one, but who knows? I don't know. I don't have the patience for learning instruments, I think. So that's part of the problem, because unless I'm hyper fixated, I just don't want to practice. Do you watch Miraculous? I haven't heard that name in a long time. If you were on Odysseus's crew, how long would you last? First of all, I think I'm bringing down the average immediately because I wouldn't be making it out of Troy, okay? Like, let's be realistic here. I'm not particularly athletic or coordinated, so I would be ruining Odysseus's average immediately off the bat. Like, I'm getting slain in Troy. It's not going well for me. And if not, I'm gonna like miss the boat, or if I did get on the boat, I'd probably fall overboard and no one would notice. Like, I'm not particularly skilled, so pretty much immediately, as soon as it was possible to get got, I would be getting got. Where in the world is Carmen Sandiego? I think you're better off asking player. Now, do you mind? I'm trying to take a bath here. What's your favorite ice cream flavor? I would have to say my favorite ice cream flavor is probably like a cake batter flavor. Like, I'm really partial to a good like Dairy Queen New York cheesecake. Oh, it's so good. If you've never had it, it's so good. I love it so much. That, or I just like a good old fashioned like cookies and cream or cookie dough. I'm a sucker. I'm a sucker for those. Would you like to dye your hair next? I'm not actually sure. I think I'm going to stay with the natural hair color because like I got really lazy with the blonde, and so it was like growing out for like 2 years. So I think it's for the best that I just keep it as is now, and then when I change my mind inevitably I can change it to some other color because I really don't have any colors in mind. Maybe I could just go back to pink again. I really liked the pink hair, but like I don't have any colors that I'm like chomping at the bit to try. So I think we're just gonna stay with the lovely natural brown for now. Maybe I'll get some highlights, but nothing crazy is planned at the moment. What's your favorite food? Probably chicken Alfredo. If you could get cosmetic surgery to look like a fantasy character, what would you want to have done? I think I'd want to get like elf ears because I just think pointy ears are so cute. I just love the look of like the elf aesthetic. That, or I could get wings. I want wings. Screw the elf ears. I want wings. I don't care if they're fairy wings or like, you know, angel wings. Like, they could be feathery, they could be leathery, they could be, you know, insect-like. I don't care. I want wings. Wings would be very cool, and I want them to be like I can fly, not just like, oh, they're cute wings, they're just like, they're there for aesthetic. No, they are functional wings. That's what I want. What about you guys? Comment down below. Are you a fan of Supernatural?
I'm the one who grips you tight and raised you from perdition.
No. What is the hardest part about making your sketches outside of the script process? Honestly, it's the time management part, because I have to remember to film and then I go, oh, I forgot to film, great, or my life gets busy and it's like, oh, I don't have time to film, and then you're just kind of behind on videos. And so if it's not the writer's block that's killing me, it's the time management aspect and being like, oh, I should film that, but it's now, you know, 10 p.m. and it's gonna take me like 2 hours to film, which means I won't be getting to bed till probably 1-ish, which isn't great. Or let's film at 1 a.m. and then you're exhausted, and that's just brilliant on my part. So yeah, the time management is definitely my biggest issue, because, you know, I want to like look nice for my videos. I also want to make sure that I have enough energy for the video, and then I also have to combat with like ambient noise in my apartment. So like, I can try to turn off, you know, like I've turned off my fridge before because it was making a noise, and then I ended up like spoiling all the food in my fridge because I forgot to turn it back on. That was a fun day. And then like I can turn off the AC unit if I need to because it's making too much noise. But the biggest thing I have to contend with filming is my cat, because she is very talkative and loud, and so she will interrupt takes a lot. She is my biggest obstacle constantly, because she'll just be like, meow, really loud, and I'll be on like a, you know, the 4th take of something that's like a really long monologue, and it's like, thanks, Thank you, Piper. I'm so glad that you've joined the chat for this. I needed you to do that right now. So honestly, if it's not time management, it's Piper. Favorite fits? Well, I have quite a few and it kind of depends on the season, but pretty much anything with overalls is always going to be a big winner for me. If it's shorts or regular overalls, I don't really care. I just love them. I think one of my favorite outfits though is probably like my bib overalls, the long ones, and then like a white turtleneck underneath it, or a button-up shirt that I have that's like got pinstripes, that's got like kind of puff sleeves and a huge Peter Pan collar. I really love that. I also love taking that same shirt and wearing this like vest that I stole from my mother's closet that's got like suns and moons on it, and putting that on, and then like putting some jeans with that. That's some winter fits I really like. I have quite a few dresses that I like from my closet that I think are really cute, including the one that I'm wearing right now. I really love this one. I also have quite a few like fun floral tops that I wear in the summertime that I think are really cute. Also, like anything that's on my Feeling Cute playlist, those are all my favorites, honestly. I love wearing those fits that I've put up on my TikTok page, so yeah. How often do you cut your bangs? Do you have a method? I cut my bangs probably every 2 to 3 weeks would be my guess. Sometimes it's sooner than later. It depends also on the weather. Like if it's more humid and my bangs start getting in my eyes more frequently, then I have to chop them. But I don't really have a method. It's really just me with a pair of scissors in my bathroom and a dream. So I usually like take a section, pull it down, snip a little bit, then see how it looks, and then match it across. And then I just go back and do snippies across here to get it to look, you know, not like a blunt cut, because that looks gross. So, and sometimes
I trim them too short.
Because it's me cutting my own hair, and sometimes they turn out great, but you know, it's more convenient to just cut it myself than to go to a hairdresser every like, you know, 2 weeks, because that's kind of a pain in the ass. If you could be any flavor of juice, what flavor would you be? Strawberry lemonade, duh. Why cat, not dog? Cat, attitude, and pretty. Top 3 coffee orders: caramel latte, chai latte, and hot chocolate. How old is Piper? So Piper is 8 years old. She's gonna be 9 in November. Yeah. And we got her at a Humane Society, so she is a mix of a Siamese and who knows what. Half of her litter looked like her, and the other half were just solid black kittens. So we got this one. Her original name was Sapporo, after a beer from Japan, because they were a 6-pack litter of kittens. And so one was like named Miller and like Bud Light or something like that. They were all named after different beers, but she was named Sapporo. And so that's how we got her, and we renamed her to Piper because we didn't think we could yell Sapporo enough if she was being naughty, and she has proven to be very naughty. She's very, very feral and evil and very talkative. If you've seen her on my TikTok, you know how feral she is. As one question asks, how do I worship Piper? The answer is you shouldn't. This is a cult leader right here, and she will lead you to your demise. Just look at her. Yeah, just look at the feral leader here. She's just gonna bite you and terrorize you with her extra toes and her extra teeth. Fun fact, yeah, you do have extra teeth. The vet said so. The vet held her head in their hands and said, you should not be bred. Luckily, you're from Humane Society, so that was already taken care of when we got you. So, what's your favorite thing? This. What's your Hogwarts house? Ravenclaw. What is your favorite romance book or series? I would have to say my favorite romance book is definitely better than the movies because I related to the main character like a lot. I too am a little love lover, so it's definitely my favorite. I haven't gotten to read the sequel yet. I have purchased it, but I haven't had a chance to sit down and actually like read the thing. So that's on my TBR currently. I'm really excited to read. What's your favorite character to act out? This is referring to my TikTok skits, so if you only know me from YouTube, which seems highly unlikely, but if that is the case, it's the videos that I make over on TikTok. And I would have to say it's probably a tie between Persephone and Apollo. Those two are really fun to do. They're just like, they have such a broad range you can work with, especially Apollo. He's so dramatic and over the top and has so many feelings that he has to have all the time that it's just a lot of fun. But I also love Persephone and her just like overly bubbly positive energy that she's just always trying her best. And it doesn't always work out, but she's always trying. And then she's just, you know, kind of secretly manipulating half the people in her life because she's really clever like that, because she's figured out the way to get what she wants is to just be sneaky. So I really love doing both of those characters. I think otherwise, I'd have to say doing Bruce Batman, that's been fun. I think that's always silly to just have him be like really Brucey energy and being like, yes, I brought home a new kid, but what did you expect me to do? He was stood there unattended. I have to bring him home. Like, that's my favorite kind of energy to bring to Bruce instead of just the, you know, monotone stone face. Like, that can be Batman, but Bruce should just be like comical in his interactions with people, to be like, even to Alfred, to be like, I don't know what you expected from me. I left the house and I found an unattended child. That's on you. How are you? I'm doing quite well, except for the fact that my AC is currently broken, so I'm melting to death, and this mug is full of ice water. So let's hope that the AC gets fixed this week. What is your favorite animal, wild or domestic? I personally love kinkajous. I think they're so cute. You can blame Zaboomafoo from when I was a kid, that TV show with the Kratt brothers. Yeah, that was my introduction to kinkajous, and I haven't really been the same since. I love a kinkajou. I think Piper sometimes looks like a kinkajou when she's like sleeping, the way her ears will relax, and I think it's so cute. What's your star sign? I am a Gemini. My birthday is May 21st, 2002. So to all you girlies who do the astrology, do with that information what you will. What's your major and why'd you pick it? Now, obviously these questions were asked back in March, so I was still in school. I have since graduated, thankfully. So I have a degree in a Bachelor of Arts for the majors of communication studies and film studies, and with a minor in creative writing. And the reason why I went with those routes was because I want to go into film. In my dream world, I would be a screenwriter and director or something to that effect. I just want to write either television or film. Either one I would be happy with. And if I could direct, that would be crazy and amazing and wonderful, but you know, that's a way off kind of thing. Until then, I'm just happy making dinky videos on the internet and just having fun messing around with like my friends. So, but that would be the dream, because that's the plan, is to hopefully get into film and make a career in that. So wish me luck, guys. Favorite Percy Jackson character? It's definitely Percy and Annabeth. I'm sorry, I know it's basic, but I love them. They're my favorite couple in the series. They're just my favorites overall. I love them, I love them, I love them. I cannot get enough of them. I need more of them always. They are my first ever OTP, okay? I will forever love them. Where do you get most of your clothes? Pretty much Goodwill's, my mother's closet from the 80s, and any other shop that I think is cute. Why do you ask? What's your favorite thing to do during your downtime? Sorry, huh? Oh, I was reading an AO3 fic. I'm sorry. Just one more chapter and I'll be back to you. Who's your favorite Robin? Dickie Grayson. I'm sorry. I'm basic and I know, but I love Dick Grayson, okay? I love Nightwing. I love him as Robin. I love Dick Grayson, okay? I am basic and I'm okay with that, guys, all right? I love all the other Robins as well, but there is a special place in my heart for Dickie Grayson. What's your favorite pair of socks? Mine are definitely one of my 2 Marcia pairs that I bought from her brand Mai back when that was still a thing. I have this pair that I'll consider like the more spring collection one, which is like a white pair of socks with some like blue and pink and yellow color palette on it with like little lightning bolts and like different shapes. And then the like fall pair, which is like a beige color and has like some embroidery of like fall leaves on the sides. I really love both of those pairs of socks, except for I keep getting holes in them, so I keep having to darn them like I'm from, you know, the 1800s, and I'm sat there like wishing I had like the darning ball that you put in a sock so I can more easily darn it. And I feel like my ancestors would be proud that I'm darning these socks in the first place instead of just throwing them out, because I really love them and I can't buy another pair because they don't make them anymore. If you could have any animal as a pet, what would you pick? I want a call duck. Have you seen these ducks? They're so round and cute looking. And obviously I would not get one until I had the space and the time and the money and the abilities to, you know, properly care for such an animal. But they're so cute looking and I love them so much. And yes, I know ducks can be, you know, absolutely feral little mongrel goblin creatures, but have you seen my cat? feral mongrel goblins is sort of my thing, guys. How did you come up with the nickname for Zuzu for Zeus? Honestly, that was just because I was filming a video and I wanted Zeus to have this really embarrassing nickname growing up, and so I was like, okay, well, what are some like natural nicknames that would come from the name Zeus? And it's like, well, when you nickname somebody, it's usually because it's shorter than their name, and so I was like, all right, well, the first syllable of Zeus is Zoo, so then just repeat that, because that's silly and goofy and it sounds like something you'd give like a little kid as a nickname. And then I was like, oh, it's like the nickname Zuko has from Azula from when he was a little kid. That's funny. I'll call him Zuzu. And so yeah, it was just kind of this like quirky, funny little thing that I just like, I need a nickname, and I went, that works. What's your favorite Greek god? Probably Apollo and Persephone are kind of tied. Like, I love them both for different reasons. Like, I love the aesthetic of Apollo a lot, like the whole sunshine and like the gold, and I love all that kind of vibe. But I also love Persephone because she gets to have like the duo aesthetic of like pretty flowers, and then also she's, you know, the queen of the underworld, so she gets to have all those cool like, you know, dark undertones. It's like get to have like dark floral aesthetic basically, and I love it. And I love pomegranates a lot. Fun fact, my favorite fruit, pomegranates. I love pomegranates so freaking much. I would eat pomegranates every day if I could, but I can't always find them at stores, which is really sad, but I'll just have to live with it. What's your thoughts on the Percy Jackson musical? I love it. I think it's fantastic. I actually would argue that it's the best adaptation, but don't tell Rick I said that. Where would you want a vacation? I would love to go to Japan and or somewhere in the UK or Ireland. I really want to go and see, like, I would love to see those, what are they called? The octagonal like shaped rocks in like Ireland, I believe, on like the Irish, one of the like northern shores of Ireland, I think. Those look so cool. Like, or I want to go to like Scotland. I think it'd be really pretty. I would love to go to Edinburgh. Okay, I think Edinburgh looks beautiful because it's so gothic and old, and as an American, it's so pretty. I'd also love to go to Japan, like I said. I would love to go and visit all parts of Japan. I would not just Tokyo. I'd like to go and see like, go down this like through to the southern half of it. I'd love to check out Okinawa. I know it's like a big vacation spot, but I think it'd be really pretty if you went at the right time. I'd love to go during cherry blossom season specifically. I think it'd be so pretty. I love cherry blossom trees just in general, so just everything being pink and floral seems so nice. That or the plum blossoms I've seen as well are really pretty, and so I would love to see either one of those. I just think Japan is so pretty and beautiful, and like the nature there is just so gorgeous. I'd also love to check out the Studio Ghibli museum there because I love Studio Ghibli and I just think it'd be a really cool experience. So yeah, I think those are my two picks. That or anywhere in continental Europe I'd go as well. That would be pretty cool. So sweet or sour? Definitely sweet. I am a big sugar fiend. I don't mind sour sometimes, but it's not my preference. It's not, I don't like to inflict pain upon myself, so that's just not for me. Do you have any siblings? Yes. Who's your favorite singer slash band? I would have to say some of my favorites of like all-time favorites, it's gonna have to be Queen. Queen is very high on the list. I have to give an honorable mention to One Direction because I spent too much of my middle school years obsessed with them, so they have to be on there, and thus like Niall Horan's solo career is a big favorite of mine. I also really like Gigi Perez's stuff. I like Chappell Roan, of course, because who doesn't? I also like the 1975. I think they've got some really good music. I also really like the Joe, whatever. The guy from Stranger Things, his music I really like. I also like The Cure. I also like pretty much any like 80s rock I really like. I also like 70s like indie rock kind of stuff, so like Fleetwood Mac, love them. Pretty much anything that's got like rock influence is pretty big with me. I love it. It's just so good. Who is your first fictional slash celebrity crush? Well, if we're going back far enough, it'd probably be like Eric from The Little Mermaid when I was like 4, and or pretty much any of the main cast of Pirates of the Caribbean. I mean, just throwing Johnny Depp, Orlando Bloom, and Keira Knightley around in the Caribbean, just, you know, that was just gonna awaken something in everybody, I feel like. Moving beyond that, a little bit older, it would probably be like, you know, Jack Frost from Rise of the Guardians, because of course it was. Hiccup from How to Train Your Dragon 2. I loved Hiccup from the first one, but that wasn't where it was like it was when you got Neville Longbottomed by a fictional animated character that really got me. What's your favorite dog breed and or cat breed? I would have to say I am a bit biased. I like a good Siamese cat because, well, that's what I live with. So if I don't say that, I am subject to lots of chewing of my objects and clawing of things. So Siamese. And then favorite dog breed would have to be probably like, I like corgis. I think they're really cute. I'm a sucker for just big fluffy dogs. So like a golden retriever is really popular with me, or like a Great Pyrenees. They're just big fluffy doggos. I just like a good floof. I like floofiness. I think it's cute. What college did you go to? I went to the University of Minnesota in the Twin Cities because, well, it was local to me. I'm from Minnesota in the Twin Cities area, so it made the most sense, especially when I didn't really know what I wanted to do. So spending a lot of money on like an out-of-state school didn't seem like a smart decision. How do you make time for your creative outlets between work and outside life? I either do really well in that I schedule things out perfectly where I actually can get things done, or I do exceedingly poorly in where I get nothing done because I can't seem to stick to a schedule to save my soul. So the answer is just I simply don't. Favorite movie as a kid versus as an adult? Well, that's easy. Hold on one second. Let's see here. We got this one and this one and this one and this one and this one. This one. All right, well, for a kid, I'd have to say one of my favorites when I was really little was Barbie Mermaidia, because of course it was. It's the best of the Fairytopia movies, and if you don't agree, talk to the wall. I am correct, and I will not be taking suggestions at this time. Another favorite this actually isn't the correct one, but I don't have it on DVD. So How to Train Your Dragon, the entire franchise I loved, but I really loved the first one as a kid. The second one came out when I was a little bit older, obviously, but I was obsessed with the first movie. I also loved the second one, but I loved the first one a little bit more. The animation isn't as good anymore, but it's one of the best movies I think I ever saw as a kid. Now, my last one, which I still love, this is still a favorite of mine, keep in mind, but I also loved Rise of the Guardians. Yes, I know what Rise of the Brave, Tangled, Frozen Guardians is, okay, dragons. I know, I was there when it was written. Don't cite the dark magic to me, witch, okay? I know, I love this. I love this movie. I wish it got a sequel. It will forever be a bitter thing in my life. I will always blame DreamWorks for not making a second movie of this. It was so good. It had a stacked cast. I don't understand why more people didn't like it. It was so good, and the animation was beautiful. Dumb. Now, moving into my modern era of being an adult, there's still plenty of animated films in this lineup here. So we've got my all-time favorite movie ever, When Harry Met Sally. I love this film to death. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. If you like rom-coms, it is a great rom-com movie. I adore it. It's directed by Rob Reiner, written by Nora Ephron. I love this movie. It's so good. It's my favorite ever. And then we also have some other animated classics. We've got Howl's Moving Castle, I absolutely adore. I actually really like the book of this. It's probably one of my favorite books, actually. Diana Wynne Jones's writing is really good. If you haven't read the book, forewarning, the movie is almost nothing like the book. But the book is still good and the movie is still good. They're just separate entities. You just shouldn't think of them as adaptations. It just is good. I love Calcifer. I love Howl. He's so dramatic. And I love Sophie. She's so relatable. And then finally, we've got the Netflix original film, The Mitchells versus the Machines. I love this film. This film was very relatable for me as someone who wants to go into film. And, you know, I was headed off to school about the time that this came out. I think I was in like I might have already started college by the time I saw it, but it was, it's very relatable to say the least. It made me cry when I first watched it. So it's a phenomenal film. It's on Netflix and also obviously available on DVD if you wanted to grab it. I love this movie. It's by Sony, I believe, and it's incredible, and I love it so much. I don't think I'd want a sequel of it because it's just so good, and I don't want them to ruin it, but also I would love a sequel because it was so good, like I said. So yeah, those are my favorite movies from when I was a kid and as an adult. Do Do you like Pokemon? If so, which one? Of course I like Pokemon. I was born in 2002. I'm like an almost 90 baby. Of course I know what Pokemon is and I like it. I would have to say, off the top of my head right now, it's probably gonna be Leafeon. I am typically like a first 150 girl though. I don't know much past that. Like I know a few sparing ones such as Leafeon. I really am partial to all of the evolutions. I think they're just so pretty usually and so cute and I like those. I also love Bulbasaur. Bulbasaur is my main. Either that or Charmander. I don't really mess with Squirtle. I'm sorry, I know, but I don't like Squirtle that much, guys, okay? Bulbasaur is my main. If I wanna like go overpowered for like a run of like one of the OG Pokemon games, I'm going with Charmander because fire type is so powerful early on. I really want to watch the stop motion one that they made for Netflix though, because there's like a new season I think coming out or something, and I want to watch it, and it looks so cool. I love anything that's like a cool animation style, so the fact that like Nintendo did something kind of fun is just, I love it so much, it's so good. When I heard that they were retiring Ash Ketchum, I was like, I wanted to cry. Like, I don't think you understand how like much of a big deal that was for me to hear about, and I wasn't even watching the show actively anymore. Like, you don't understand, the Pokemon theme song, you know, the one from the original run series from like the 90s, like I won't sing it because I know copyright problems, but like the you want to be the very best, like no one ever was. Yeah, that one. That's like a staple at my house. Like we will put that on and my brother and I will just sing it at the top of our lungs. Like you don't understand how integral this was to my entity growing up. Like that was my first thing I collected was Pokemon cards. I still have them in like a binder at my parents' place. Like I loved Pokemon. I didn't play the card game, I just collected them, but I loved it. What's a game that you've spent the most hours on? Definitely Animal Crossing New Horizons. I took forever, but I did get a 5-star island eventually, and I'm talking like it took me years because I would take long ass breaks, and I came to it late compared to everybody else because I didn't have a Switch when the pandemic hit. Otherwise, I also spent plenty of time on Minecraft when I was younger, but I haven't touched Minecraft in a long time, sadly, because I don't really have a computer that can run it. I tried it on my MacBook, and it just, you know, it couldn't really handle all of that stress. So, you know, maybe one day when I have like a PC where I can actually run that on there. I also really like Unpacking is a good game I really like. I also have started to play Stardew Valley like a year ago, and I recently picked up my Switch again and was kind of dinking around with that, but I need to get back into it and like really like figure out how the mechanics of the game work again, because I kind of forgot because I took over a year off, so I'm a little lost on how to, you know, collect things sometimes or what my tasks were that I was currently doing, so I have to remember before that. But last time I played it was the flower dance, and I got, you know, horribly rejected by everybody. And I was kind of devastated because none of them apparently like me, and I was really depressed. So apparently I'm not doing a great job, I guess. When did you start on TikTok, and did you start on YouTube before or after TikTok? So I started YouTube back in like high school initially, and then I did it in my early college years, and then I took a long break from doing social media altogether, and then I got bored and I was working part-time and I was in the middle of a gap year, and so I started posting TikToks in like the end half of 2022-ish into 2023, and then in July of 2023 I made a Wolfstar comedy skit and it blew up, and then that's how I started making comedy skits on TikTok, was because just one of them kind of just happened to do well, and then I just kept doing that, and then it snowballed into making Percy Jackson content, and then it became me making Percy Jackson and DC content, and then it became my whole reincarnation series that I also do, and it just kind of kept going, and then I decided, well, I might as well get back to doing YouTube because I really like doing YouTube and it's a lot of fun. It's just a lot higher effort than TikTok is, so it takes me longer to make YouTube videos than it does TikToks because, well, TikTok is, you know, I can film it on my phone as opposed to YouTube. I'm filming on a camera and I have to do all the editing. But yeah, I've just sort of always been content creating because I just think it's fun. I have a good time. I like making stuff and sharing things with others and getting feedback from it, and I just have a good time making it. So as long as you guys enjoy watching it, I am very happy. What's your favorite fandom to make content for? I really like making the PJO content and the DC content. It's It's just fun. My wheelhouse is Percy Jackson. I read Percy Jackson when I was like 12 for the first time, so I've known it for a while, and I had read Greek mythology before that, so like that's where my comfort zone kind of is. And then the DC stuff is newer for me, so that's kind of fun, and I just get to like play around with that and just have a good time and just like goof off, and I really liked making that kind of stuff lately. So what advice would you give to a first-year college student? It's okay if you don't know what you want to do yet. You have plenty of time. I know you feel like this big rush to be on track with everybody else, and you have to keep up with everyone, and you're so used to regular school where it's this very linear path, and it's okay if it's not linear for you. You might end up taking a gap year, and you're then, you know, behind compared to the classmates that you had since kindergarten. You might, you know, decide that you don't want to finish a regular college. You might decide that you go to online school. You might end up getting an AA degree instead. You might get a master's or a PhD. I don't know, but it's okay if you don't know that in the first year or two. It's okay to change your mind. I changed my major multiple times. It's okay if you change your mind. If you decide that you hate the major you picked, it's not the end of the world. You know, it's gonna be okay. Take your general classes first. Learn what you do and don't like, and then go, okay, from here, you can figure out what you want to do. What inspired you to make your content style on TikTok? Honestly, it was just the fact that that was the popular thing in the Marauders fandom at the time, was to make these sort of like skits of the characters, and I thought they were funny, and I had this idea because it's much like a lot of the time where I get bored and I'm walking around just thinking in my head, and I have like little fanfic ideas basically, but writing fanfiction takes a lot of time, and I also had a feeling that it would be funnier if it was in video format, so I took the idea that I had and I filmed it, and then I posted that to TikTok, and that was the first Wolfstar skits. And that's kind of always how my brain works, is I just get little ideas that are like not necessarily full-fledged like a story idea, but they're just like a little like kind of like one-liner, it's something funny, or it's like a small little like snippet of a story. And so that's why like it worked to my advantage, because that's just kind of how my brain's always worked. And like I always referred to it as like making mini fanfics in my head basically, because I never wrote them down. It was just like an idea that I would like ponder through and like write out in my brain, but I'd be like, this would take me too long to get it to the full justice it deserves, or I was just too lazy to actually write it. So yeah, that's sort of how I came into the content style I have on TikTok, but I have desires to do other styles as well. What animes do you watch? Well, I haven't watched anime in a hot minute, but I have watched in the past Skate the Infinity. I used to watch My Hero Academia, but I fell off like ages ago. I'm like so far behind. I don't think I've even seen season 6. Like I'm far behind on that. I watched like the first season of Jujutsu Kaisen. Basically, I'm behind on like all of the main animes. I typically stick to like 12 episode animes because I just know I'll fall behind. It's something I'm working on actually, is to like finish TV shows, because I'll get really far into a show and then like not finish the final season, or I'll get like halfway through a show and then I guess my hyperfixation wears off and I just don't finish it, and then when I go back to watch it again, I just rewatch it from the beginning and then I never get any further. It's terrible, okay? I was like that with Fairy Tail for like a decade. I only watched like the first arc of the show or something, or like the first season's worth of episodes for like 10 years, and then I finally last year got further in it, but I still didn't finish it. I'm terrible. I know, it's awful, okay? Pancakes or waffles? Pancakes. If you could change any Riordanverse character, who would you pick and what would you change? The answer is Jason, 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 Jason Grace, Jason, Jason, Jason. Why and what would I change? I would give him a personality at all in any of the Heroes of Olympus books. I'd also give him his memories back, but that's neither here nor there. Favorite shirt? Absolutely my red floral top that I wear like all the time. I think it looks so nice. It's made out of like a t-shirt material, so it's not like an uncomfortable shirt to wear. It's nice and comfy and it looks good on me, and the color complements my skin tone really nicely, and I just love that shirt so much. What content are you looking forward to filming the most? Well, if I can get my shit together, then I would probably have to say a crafting video that I've been wanting to make, because I technically started it a year ago, and I haven't touched the project since, so you know, I'd love to get that in the works again. I think that one would be really fun to finish if I can actually get myself together. If not, I have another project I would love to start, but I have a rule with myself that I can't start that project until I finish the other project. So hopefully there will be a crafting video coming out in the near future. If you could be any flower, what would you be? Cherry blossom, obviously, but I'd probably end up being a lily of the valley, considering that's what I'm named after. And that's all the questions I have for today. I hope you guys liked it. If you did, please comment down below and let me know if you would like to see more videos like this in the future. Consider hitting that like button if you haven't already, and if you're not, consider subscribing as well. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please check me out on TikTok if you aren't already following me there. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Until next time, my name's been Lily, and this has been my niche. Bye-bye!